getting chat, and that really pissed me off. All right. 13. I'm on chapter 13. Autumn 2005. Kate goes back to the guest house. Oh, yeah, I thought we were done. Oh, we're going back to the guest house. That's right. The guest house is different. Oh, yeah, we have to, like, double-click. She walks all slow. I think I can go here. I think I've gotten a decent amount of this stuff. I think I was gonna talk to this dude. See
if this goes on, I'll end up reading my way through the entire bookcase.
Okay. We're going back to the guest house. We gotta make our way back to the train. We're probably gonna get hit or something by some chupacabra. Hello? Oh. Man, they really made me thought I was going to need this to know what this thing was by allowing you to go up and read it. I was like, oh, I'm going to need to know this. Plumbing in the weekend, yeah.
I found her, my sweet Katusha.
Water pup buddies.
The girl in the painting.
This sucks.
Her name is Dana. Dana Rose.
That's nice, Kate. Real nice.
I'm gonna find out who she was, just like I promised you.
Nothing more than a good old adventure to forget your grief, I guess.
Damn, we're getting backlash
go,
from our ghost.
Or you're gonna miss the tram.
Don't you tell me what to do.
There will always be a train for you.
Yeah, it's way better than a sewer pipe. We had that the other weekend, our septic backed up. But, yeah, no. Somebody's staring at us. It looks like the dude from Minions. Is it just the same stuff over and over again? She's just going back and forth. She looks like she has stomach pains by doing that. Return to guest house. I don't remember how to get there. Go down, I think it was.
Oh, gosh. What a day.
It's just like, here, look at the motorbike. No way to.
I hope Oscar's okay, wherever he is. I'm not abandoning him. I just need to find him. Closed. It's late. Frau Wagner must have gone to bed.
Oh, whoops. That pillow looks hard as a rock. The end. Just right when you're getting into the story. Why do those pillows look like they're made out of denim?
Is that you, Katie?
Yes, Mom! I mean, who else can it be? Looks like Mom's friends came over again last night. She's been saying them a lot since what happened to Dad. Come on, I've been cooped up in my room for hours. Jeez, pulling my hair out trying to figure out the math problem Miss Wormwood gave us. I deserve a break, right? Another letter for Dad. Another letter for Dad. Last time it took Mom days to find the strength to open it.
I don't know why I'm looking at all these.
Grandpa and Grandma from New York gave it to me for my last birthday. I really ought to read it, or at least dog-ear the pages so it looks like I did.
Jesus. She's like, I'm gonna make it look like I'm paying attention. Or reading the stuff I get. Supposed to do sorrows. I don't think that's how that would go. Someone's smoking.
The piano that Mom ordered will soon be here. Couldn't bring myself to tell her that I wanted a drum kit instead. Mom bought those again. Mom bought those again.
Interesting.
Wow, I hope I get to travel around the world too when I grow up.
Oh, hello, Munchkin.
Hey, Mom.
Something tells me that's kind of like what sets the dream off. Can I go into what I assume is the kitchen? Anything else over here? Because as of right now, I think that's the only thing I can do now. I'm so used to double clicking that it's not just like not doing anything now, because they want you to walk slow, right? All right, so we'll take it. I will say the things come out. I inspected the house. I don't know what you wanted me to find. You want me to go check the AC and the electrical and make sure that's all?
You forgot your music box.
Be careful with that, please, Munchkin.
She's gonna drop it or something. I mean, she's not that young, so she wouldn't probably do that. Dare to be more.
Where'd this come from?
I already told you. Your grandma and grandpa gave it to me when I was little.
Doesn't look like it's from New York, though.
I don't know. Must have been in the family forever.
I just love it.
You've always liked it. Ever since you were little.
Will you give it to me when I'm big?
Maybe, if you're a good girl, when I get old.
So when will that be then?
Later, Katie.
Dang. Already plotting for when she passes.
But when?
In a very, very long time, I guess. When I'll be gone.
Dear Kate, wherever you are now, despite the sad news it contains, I hope this letter reaches you in time.
Oh, give it a rest, Olivia.
You're the one rereading it.
Oh, what the hell?
You call her, you give enough
You
your
want me to call
location.
you Olivia? Fine. I've survived worse criticism.
I wonder if I'm gonna have to know how the heck.
I shouldn't put it off. I better call Olivia while I have the courage.
How do you do the intro? Like, do I have to leave and then come back into the room? Because that's where it happened last time. I could do it right there on the bed. No, it's like not letting me. I don't know where. I guess it'll be along the way, maybe at the couch or something.
Who do you think you are, Olivia Foster? It's easy to judge and lecture me from New York. You know nothing about what I've gone through, of what I've had to endure since leaving Hans. Looks like I'm not the only one who can't sleep tonight. This is not the time to surf the web.
I mean, it
If I don't
kind
call
of is.
Olivia now, I never...
You need a breather. There we go.
Don't know why I should be so nervous about making a simple phone call. I mean, hey, I've crossed Europe, been in all sorts of danger, and yet look at me here. I'm worrying about talking to my former best friend. Oh, and I think I used to spend my life on the phone gossiping with her. So what do I risk? Criticism? The one who missed her mother's funeral because she was breaking rocks at the bottom of a mine. In any case, Olivia hasn't stopped criticizing me ever since I left Valladolid on Hans Vorarlberg's train. I'm the one who should be criticizing her. I mean, come on. Isn't she the one who took advantage of my absence to get her hooks into Dan? Now look at me, mulling over old grudges. That's exactly what I wanted to escape from when I decided to go with Hans in his train to Syberia. And then there was the departure with the Uccle tribe, their seasonal migration. Come on, Kate, for Christ's sake, stop procrastinating. Just make the darn call and get it over with.
Why would you put me in this camera angle? Okay. By the way, this is called a rotary phone. You put your finger in at the number you want to dial and you rotate it all the way to the line. Probably only an answer. It's like midday. Or middle of the night. That's middle of the night for you, so it's probably like late night for them.
Hello? Hello? Mr. Canton, is that you? Who's there, please?
Got your letter, Olivia.
Kate, I sent it 2 years ago.
I know, things have been complicated.
Complicated. I see. And so when are you coming back to New York? You know, to visit your mother's grave?
You know I can't come back, Olivia. I'm still wanted by the police over the sale of the Vorarlberg factory.
Oh, I haven't forgotten, believe me. If only you knew how much the accusations hurt your mother. Visits from the police, the requisitions, and
They're
just when she
wireless
was
phones.
diagnosed too.
Wireless payphones.
And yet the poor woman never stopped hoping that her daughter would come back one day. Or at least call to help her in her final days.
I don't have to justify myself to you, Olivia, or to anyone else.
Kate, Ugh! Okay, listen to me. I thought you had plenty of time to think about how you abandoned all of us. Me, your mother, Dan, or even that poor Mr. Canton. And maybe felt at least some remorse. But I guess I was dreaming. All you do is keep chasing castles in the sky and ignore those who care about you.
Why would she be angry? There's no reason for her to be angry.
I get why you're mad. Do you think I'm not mad at myself?
Well, I hope so.
But there's nothing I can do now to change what happened. It's over, Olivia. All I have now is the woman in the painting.
Oh, Kate. I should have known. And I should never have asked you to call me. Goodbye, Kate. I hope you find whatever it is you've been looking for these past 3 years. One thing's for sure, though. You wanted to be alone. And that's how you're gonna stay.
Why would you make so much noise while people are trying to sleep? You can be mad, but don't disturb other people. Like, that's so rude. Am I given a decision here, or no? She's just sitting up. Okay.
Okay, let's go, kiddo. Another day, another page.
Did she just say another day, another page? Does she live her life by
A
her
new day
diary?
in Vaughan. I must take the tram to that music academy where Dana Rose was a student in the 1930s. With a bit of luck, they'll have kept her records.
Alright, nothing there. Go check the computer out, I guess.
Demoiselle Lenny told me the music academy is near the musical square. Maybe Frau Wagner can tell me more.
There's bread. Let's go check the computer real quick. Check email and things like that. I feel like we've read this stuff before.
Nothing relevant. The expedition mustn't have led to any major breakthrough, I guess.
Oh. I wasn't done reading. I should probably just click and scroll because my middle mouse button, if I accidentally click it, apparently goes back. The brown shadow. It's like everything's like a Wikipedia page.
It's a shame that Demoiselle Lenny is so modest about having been a member of the Resistance. She's a true hero. No results about Dana. Huh. Junta. Demoiselle Lenny told me a lot about her. But was she some kind of spy?
Excuse me. We need to figure out how to get what's his name back. I'm assuming, yeah, she's down here.
Oh, hello, Miss... Ah, Miss Walker. Did you sleep all right?
Fine, thanks.
Now, is there anything you need?
I'd like to go to the Music Academy. Can you tell me how to get there?
You just need to take the tram northbound to the musical square.
Is there anything I should know about the Academy?
To tell the truth, it's a little glum nowadays. Especially when you think it was once the jewel of the town, where students came from all over the world to perform on the musical square, you know. Pity. It's since lost its panache of old through lack of students and means.
Everything seems to link the person I'm looking for with the Second World War and the rise of the Brown Shadow.
Terrible times were those, my dear. Especially when Wagen was occupied after the annexation of Ostertal. Thank God I was born just after the liberation.
I see. But I guess you had to grow up with the after effects of those events.
Oh yes, dear. There was a kind of conspiracy of silence where everyone suspected each other, even their close friends. Did any of them collaborate with the enemy? And if so, was it through like-mindedness or simple cowardice? Were they responsible in one way or another for the arrest or death of a family member?
I must have been awful.
A terrible time, really.
Well, the person I'm looking for is from the same generation.
You'll just have to hope she managed to survive the madness then.
I went to the Silberspiegel Refuge yesterday. Oh, magnificent.
I won't disagree with that, Miss Walker. Those mountains are the pride of the town, just like old Lenny.
Lenny is highly respected in Wagen because she was a resistance fighter during World War II, right? Well, I heard about it when I was at the refuge.
Lenny Renner might be a grumpy old spinster, but to us she's still a heroine. Pity the same can't be said of her father, though. Still, everyone has their cross to bear, as they say.
What do you mean?
No point gossip-mongering. The war was a dark time in Wagen for everyone, see? Best not stir up old memories.
Well, I guess I should get going. Thank you for your time, Frau Wagner.
Feel free to ask if you have any more questions.
No, you won't answer them. You just go, it's a bad, dark time. I apparently have too dark of questions. Alright. Wonder if there's a way to get into the sewers. Dang, this is long. I wish you could rotate the camera. Slowly walks up the steps. We go this way. Can I go anywhere, or does it have to be? It has to be. Okay. Also, I didn't realize this was a series of games. I should probably get them. They're really cheap right now. Guys, if you haven't already, think about giving the stream a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, you know, all the good things that you do on YouTube, comment, chat, whatever you want to do. Should probably go through the diary and check it. I feel like it's a bigger part of the game and I don't check it often. But it's important. Okay, so with all due respect, I cannot give up the hunt. Okay. I can't go like... I was curious to know like how open like world I could go. You know? There's not much to look at in terms of like interaction points like it had been on previous streets.
Don't do that.
Hey, look, Oscar.
It does!
Oh dear. Help! Help! Someone! Help! Put me down!
Oscar?
Bet you can't catch it!
Don't you dare! Put it down! Right now!
Alright then.
Oscar! Are you alright?
I had a bit of a bumpy ride, but I am glad to see you, Kate Walker.
Oscar. Oh, I've missed you so much.
I say, this display of emotion is most unreasonable, Kate Walker. I do hope you don't plan such profusion every time I change bodies.
It's just that I've been worrying about you. Where were you, Oscar?
Well, the mechanical instinct of my host took me for a ride, all across town. It took me the whole night to tame it, and that's when I bumped into those little rascals.
Yeah, lucky I was in the area, huh?
Quite. So, Kate Walker, what has happened since we parted at the Balaton River?
Maybe we should just sit down for a second, Oscar. This might take a while. And that's when Demoiselle Lenny gave me the address of the Music Academy in this neighborhood.
I see, Kate Walker.
You must think I'm crazy, huh? Running after that girl, Dana, who must have died ages ago.
Well, Kate Walker, you know I have difficulty understanding illogical thought patterns. But in the end, what I do understand is that you need to find her. Is that correct, Kate Walker?
Yes, that is correct, Oscar. I'm glad you're taking it so well.
I don't see any fundamental difference between crossing Europe in search of mammoths, traveling on ostriches in an irradiated zone, or following your double. These are not things an automaton such as I take into consideration.
Any other thoughts, Oscar?
Well, I guess I could ask you where we are heading, but truth be told, it doesn't really matter. I will follow you wherever you lead, and for as long as you require my services, Kate Walker. That's what an automaton does.
Thank you, Oscar.
Oh dear, I hope you're not going to become physical, are you?
No, I was just going to give you a pat on the back.
I would rather you refrain from having such thoughts. I am not a dog, you know. Whatever next?
Pretty
Anyway,
close to a dog
you'd
right
better
now.
get going, Oscar, and you'd better keep out of sight.
Oh dear, I don't suppose I have any choice.
So we have Oscar again.
I'm so glad he's back.
I'm counting on you to transplant my mechanical heart as soon as we come across an XZ2000 automaton. Is it really necessary for me to be shut up in here, Kate Walker?
Sorry, Oscar, but I don't want to run the risk of losing you again.
Where am I supposed to do that introspect at? What are they looking at? Plants? No, no, no. I guess maybe on the bench once I get into the square. Due to the forthcoming computerization of mechanical strictly forbidden under further notice. Okay.
I can't open it like this. It looks like it's been mechanical. I don't think I'll be able to open it directly. Strange. Strange.
That's what you say? Okay, whatever. There we go. That's what I was looking for. This introspection perspective.
I only know Dana as a waitress at the refuge, and yet everything seems to fit with her here. Not hard to imagine her coming here to the music academy to study. And who knows, maybe Leon waited for her outside one day as a surprise after returning from his Baltayar expedition.
Really is not so good looking.
All these letters. They look like letters of formal notice. They probably haven't been paying the bills for some time. It looks like the rector is desperate to reduce the costs of running the academy. Guten Tag!
What now? If you're from the council, you can come back when I'm not so busy.
Oh, sorry, you startled me.
So, now what do you want? Council minion?
I'm not from the council. I'm just a visitor here. I came because I was hoping to look at the file of a student from the 1930s.
Oh. I'm sorry, It's just that I haven't time for digging up old files from 70 years ago. I have way too much to do here, you understand.
I can tell you're a little overwhelmed. Where's the rest of the staff? Or maybe a student could show me.
You are standing in front of the rector, and the only employee of this academy. My name is Maximilian Mahler, and it falls upon me to manage everything on the premises. The maintenance, the archiving, and the lot before we close next month. So, if you don't mind...
I'm very sorry to hear that the academy is closing, and I can see you're extremely busy, but I've come such a long way to see it. I'd be so grateful if you could locate it. It's really important to me.
And so is this place important to me, too. And I would love to hear the mechanical orchestra play one last time before the academy closes. But, alas, I can't, can I? Unless,
Unless what?
well, you know.
All right, then. So if I get the mechanical orchestra going, you'll get me that file, right?
Oh, of course, Fraulein. Of course.
Okay, I'll give it a try. Believe it or not, I have seen mechanisms like the one on the square before.
Well, in that case, I promise to give you the file in return for your services.
Thanks.
But I must warn you that the square has undergone some transformations over the years, and some parts of the mechanism may be difficult to get to.
Don't worry, I'll make myself thin and slide between the cracks.
You'll find some of them scattered around the square, and some of the others you'll find in the clock tower. Now, if you'll excuse me for a second...
We have our objective.
What are you...
Now, what is the name of that student you're interested in?
Rose. Dana Rose.
And what were the years she attended our illustrious academy?
In the 30s. 1937, to be precise.
Oh, and here it is. And here you will find the annual inspection reports of the mechanisms by Frau Beckmann.
Frau Beckmann?
She was the rectress of the academy during the years you spoke of. These are from 1937. You see, I have a marvelous memory regarding archives. This is why I have chosen Frau Beckmann's, because there's something in here regarding that Edna Droz you spoke of.
Dana Rose.
Quite. You will also find some sheet music with annotations. This is the Hymn of Bargain, which you must play on the piano on the square in order to activate the Orchestra of Automatons. Once you have fixed the mechanisms, of course. All right then, here you go. What are you waiting for?
Just take them, leave. Don't even fix the mechanism.
This sheet music corresponds to the piano. Someone's added annotations. They could help me play the hymn on the piano on the square, like the rector asked me to. I wonder what it's supposed to represent. The report that the rectoress of the academy filled in with the help of Dana back in the 30s. According to the present rector, I should find all the information I need to repair the mechanisms on the square. The report that the rectoress of the academy filled... Music Academy Inspection Report, October 12, 1937.
Today, I was due to inspect the musical mechanisms that enable students to give a public display of their talent and enable us to showcase the quality of our teaching to the people of our beautiful town.
I have to do this twice. It's like they give you the tutorial by going to the past, and then they're like,
every
do it
year,
again.
I needed a volunteer from our students to help me during the inspection, and this year's choice was obvious.
I'm fine, really.
Well, you're looking off color, darling, and on edge.
No, it's just that I haven't heard from Leon since he left with the Origin expedition from Kantar. And also,
Well, we've got company. You'll tell me later, Dana, darling. Meantime, be good and stay safe.
You too, Yunta.
You too, Yunta.
Is everything all right? You look under the weather. We don't want one of our best and brightest to fall ill now, do we?
I bet you she's pregnant.
Thank you for asking, Frau Beckmann, but I'm just a little tired, that's all.
And who was that lady?
Just a friend I met this summer.
You do keep some surprising company, Fraulein Rose. Anyway, I have something for you that will take your mind off things.
Oh?
Would it interest you to see the mechanisms that enabled you to perform so brilliantly here last spring?
That would be wonderful.
Good. Come and join me at the kiosk when you have a moment. But don't be too long, though.
Anyways, better run. New customers arriving for the summer. I can only say that so much has changed since the memorable evening of that refuge and I first met Leon. This past summer, by This past summer by his side has been like living a dream in sweet interludes. I literally went to say goodbye to Leon. Such terrible separation. Can't write anymore. Damn the Brown Shadow and Frank Haas for putting us through this heartache just to satisfy his revenge. Last night I saw Yunta, that filmmaker and Leon's friend I met the summer at the refuge. I can't think why such a well-known and free-minded figure should want to bother with an 18-year-old girl like myself. She'll probably just honoring the she's probably just honoring the promise she made to Leon to watch over me, isn't she? Although I must say she does seem sincere. Maybe we simply are becoming friends. But that's not all. Yunta gave me a letter from Leon. The Origins expedition he went with has arrived in Kentar, the capital of Bothia. Oh, excuse me. As long as he's there, we can write to each other. Leon is sending his letters to Yunta, who will pass them directly to me to avoid any, let's say, awkward questionings from my parents might ask about where the letters come from, and above all, about the sender. So excited, saw Yunta again today. She gave me a letter from Leon. Apparently here, Berger. The expedition chief is being really horrible to him, and yet Bear knows full well Leon was forced into accompanying the expedition, but Leon makes Kentar and Bear seem so wonderful. I would love to go there with him. Running across the lands of dreams, Christmas seems so far away. I just can't wait to see him again, so much so that I'm even willing to accept the stupid nickname he gave me. He uses it in his letters anyways. Then Leon wrote off the imminent departure to the Origin expedition, the aim to head to the wilderness of the high, search for abominable snowman, but worst of all, he says he won't be able to write to me. He says the Yetis don't have a postal service. Not funny. Anyways, I hope everything goes well for him. I must admit, I'm a bit worried. Dear Diary, it's been weeks since I've heard from Leon. I knew he wouldn't be able to write once he's headed out into the high plateaus. I didn't realize it was supposed to be there for so long. I wonder what's keeping him. Still no news. How long in between? October. I mean, it hasn't even been a month yet. I keep getting these horrible nightmares of Leon being attacked by some ferocious creatures. I was sick this morning when I wake up, and I keep getting this oppressed feeling as if I'm lungs affliction in the back. My teachers of the academy distract. I really need to get bad a hold of myself. Okay. There we go. Back we go. All right.
Not the most enjoyable day of the year, but someone's got to do it.
I don't know where I forgot where she said she was gonna be. Ah. Is this her? Is this just some random lady? Okay. Whoops. Ah, she's up there. Ah, she has glasses. My bad.
Come and see, Fraulein.
Incredible.
Isn't it just? You see these flags? Each mechanism housing for each musical automaton on the square is represented by one of these flags.
Fascinating.
Today is the day they are being serviced. Each mechanism has been inspected by an academy maintenance man. In theory, they're all functional. But if you like, you can go and see these maintenance men on my behalf and fetch back their respective reports. You would be doing me a big favor, as I have to inspect the piano in the kiosk. And also, it will give you a chance to take a peek at each of the automaton mechanisms.
Thank you. I'd be delighted.
Now, take this. You'll need it to open the maintenance room that leads to the most impressive mechanism of all, that of the clock tower.
Thank you, Frau Beckmann.
Do you have any questions before you go?
Hi, Nia. Welcome in. Thank you so much for coming.
Do you know who built the
How's it
mechanical
going?
orchestra? My father told me it didn't exist when he was young.
They were built by a strange young French inventor by the name of Vorarlberg some years ago. From what I heard, he was visiting Wagen while en route to the east, just after the huge fire that destroyed the town. He was moved by the legend of Vera Schönberg, that virtuoso who died in the fire, so he offered his talents to rebuild the city and create the mechanical orchestra.
When the mechanical orchestra played along with me last spring, it was incredible. But how does it manage to play at the same tempo as the piano? It was almost like in a dream.
Oh, it wasn't dream work, Fraulein, but clockwork. The piano is connected to the mechanism that you are going to inspect, and the hymn of Wagen played on the keys. That's what sets the rhythm and the intensity of the performance, and that's what triggers everything else.
What happened to Vera Schönberg? My mother always says it's the saddest story.
And she's right. You probably know that Vera Schönberg was Wagen's most famous musician at the beginning of the century.
It
But
is.
her legend was truly born the night she performed a
pretty
cello
good.
concerto
We had the
right
pipe
here
bus, though.
on the square.
1 second.
It was also the night of the worst fire in Wagen's modern history.
And Frau Schönberg, she died in the fire, right?
She did. As well as all the other musicians and the entire audience. They were
Jesus.
surrounded by flames, trapped on this square.
How dreadful.
Dreadful indeed. But according to the legend, Vera Schönberg kept playing Wagen's hymn until the very end. She understood they were all doomed to die, and her music brought them peace of mind during their last moments. This automaton you played with last spring was created in her image as a final tribute.
I had no idea.
Well, now you know all about the legend of Vera Schönberg. Was there something else, Fraulein Rose?
I'll go and see the maintenance team.
Good. Thank you, Fraulein.
It's going pretty well. We had a pipe bust while yesterday, or the night before last, and thankfully it was pretty easy.
According to Frau Beckmann, it opens the maintenance room just next to the clock tower.
It was okay. Repair the automatons in the square. All right, so we're gonna go to each of these. It was a very easy fix, but it was very like scary at the beginning because I was like, "Crap, how are we gonna fix this?" CGDA. I might need to write this down actually. Hold on. Let me get a notebook out. Alright, so we have CGDA. in A. Alright.
It seems perfectly functional.
6428. Okay. No. Sir, ma'am. Please talk to this maintenance person.
So you're the one Frau Beckman sent, are you? Well, you can tell her there's no problem with this automaton. Just needs cleaning up and a bit of oiling. Have a gander at the mechanism if you like.
Alright, no. Oh, God. The clicking system. Alright, so one thing, I think we're gonna need the combination, right? And I don't know where she's going, because that's not where I was clicking. So, this is gonna be 1973 is the combination. And I got that. Alright, so now we can go talk. No, let's talk to this person.
You can tell, Frau Beckman, this automaton still works correctly, but it's so filthy that it won't last long. It's going to take me the whole day to give it a good clean if it's to get past winter.
I need to go into the clock tower too. So I'll have Kate go to this one now.
I can hardly believe I held my concert here just 6 months ago. 6 months. Seems like a lifetime. So much has happened. Meeting Leon for a start. It would be so good if he were here now. I love receiving his letters since he left to Baltear with the Origin expedition. The way he described Kantar, the capital, made it sound like a city from a dream. We've said so much on paper, and I love to read between the lines. But since the expedition left Kantar for the mountains, no news. I just hope he's okay.
We're gonna come back to
Looks
her.
like the rector was right, Oscar. I should be able to find the mechanisms he wants me to repair by following the circuit Dana described in the report.
They would still need to be accessible to us today, Kate Walker.
Glad to see you haven't lost any of your legendary...
We're gonna go one by one. So this is 1-9. It would be quicker for me to go this way, that way. 3. So it's oh.
Something's wrong.
I know that it's G down here, C here. And then it's DA. Actually, I think it's this. CD. It's CD. A, I think.
Something's wrong.
Oh. Alright, so bottom, one up, bottom, one down. Do that. That should hopefully move these, allow these to move.
Something's wrong.
These have... So I'm trying to figure out how to move these. Oh, this is broken. Oh. Can I move them side to side? So let's see. This one is A, and then can this? Oh. So you have to move them. I don't know. I don't remember where that one was, so hold on. D. Can this go down one? No. So that's fine there. We move this down. Move it to G, C, G, D, A. D, and then A is all the way at the top. Alright, back. Oh, hello? And then this is here. Only thing that I want to do is change this to... And then... I don't think the tuning mechanism matters. I think it's for the... Okay.
Well played, Kate Walker. You seem to be on the right track to successfully completing the service the Rector asked of you.
Thanks, Oscar. But I still have to find the other mechanisms.
I know where they are.
Oh, it hard to fall to me.
Alright, so that one, I think we need to go to the mechanical room, which is this way. Jesus. This camera angle, I really wish I could... Is this the maintenance room? This doesn't look like the maintenance room.
Hey, careful what you're doing here, right? Don't go and injure yourself or damage any of the material.
I mean, now that you said something, I really should try to damage the material. Grouch.
I just come down from the tower. You can tell Frau Beckman everything's in order up there. The mechanism's in perfect condition.
According to what the maintenance guy told Dana, there should be an access to the clock tower somewhere in the room.
Oh, I've already checked over everything upstairs. There's no point you going up there.
That brand was everywhere in New York when I left. And now they've even got branches here. Looks locked. I can't go in.
Can you look?
I should be able to get through it. If I can reach it.
What about using Oscar? Can I use Oscar? Can I throw Oscar over? How slow they make people move when pushing things. I mean, it does look pretty solid. Like that thing looks heavy. Yeah, she looked like she was about to just run. But nope.
Good. Now I just have to find the elevator to the clock tower.
It might have been easier to ask for a clerk to let you in, don't you think?
According to the report, the elevator should be behind there. Let's hope it hasn't been walled up since. There. Okay. Just need to clear the passageway.
Totally would be scraping up that tile on the ground, but hey. They did a really good job on the texturing of that floor. like for the dirtiness.
They're still magnificent, in spite of their age. I wonder how long it's been since they were activated.
Probably way too long.
Looks like I need to put that key in the mechanism to activate it. That's it for the engine. Now I should open those large doors. Looks like spare parts for automatons.
Anything else back here?
Half done. Let's see what's next.
We're gonna get arrested as soon as we get back down. I said go up. Can't go out that way. You better. What? Why'd you walk away when I did that?
An automaton musician. Looks exactly like Hans's style, like at Bohogstadt.
Swear that was the lady. They're reusing people. A lot of doubles. Alright, so inspect this. Well.
Oh, go on, off you go. This is no place to be messing around.
Mess around. Is this dude done yet? Or do I need to come back to it? Whee! Okay, come on. What the heck? Oh my goodness. I definitely clicked the talk.
You'll find the maintenance man next to each of the musical mechanisms.
There's... what, 4? 1, 2, 3... There is a 4th one. I'm missing one. I think it's this guy. Maybe not. You got the guy in the tower. This guy who said it's gonna take all day. Oh, it's that guy. Okay, so it's this way.
A part of the mechanism was damaged, but I changed it. You can tell Frau Beckmann everything's in order now.
I should go back and see Frau Beckmann.
Alright, Kate Walker. So she needs to go over here.
I don't believe it. Because of that van, I can't get to the mechanism. I'll have to find a way to move it. I need to find the owner. I need to find the owner. Looks like they've tried to blend all these new shops into the original facades. It doesn't make it any less a tourist trap, though. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, Fräulein. What can I do for you?
Do you know anything about the Wagen Music Academy?
It's the large building across the square there. Used to be quite renowned worldwide, actually.
But not anymore?
Well, from what I gather, hardly anyone studies there nowadays. I wouldn't be surprised if it were closed.
Well, what happened?
Budget cuts from the town council, I guess. The academy can't be very lucrative.
I see. How come the square is so well known?
Because of the mechanical orchestra there. It used to be quite the attraction. Every year, the academy's best student would play along with it, as did renowned musicians from around the world.
Oh, that sounds intriguing. Is it scheduled to play today?
I'm afraid not. Several years back, the town council discussed computerizing it. But the plan never went through, and no one has ever heard its music since.
There are a lot of tourists on the square.
Indeed. It attracts thousands of customers every year. A veritable boon for us retail shops.
And for the people of the town, too?
I wouldn't know about that. I live on the outskirts, as do most of the people. What with the rents being as high as they are here, you know?
Rents are too high.
Thank you. I should go now.
Auf Wiedersehen, Fräulein. Come back again.
Employee of the month. Would I need to like call that number maybe? I haven't looked at this stack.
So that's the famous Vaughan Music Academy? It's not what I was expecting.
I didn't grab the number of the truck. Five one two 3 8 Is that 5? 8 8 8 3 2 1. And then something tells me that last digit's cut off, so we'll have to figure... Oh, you know what? You can probably tell once you inspect it. Oh no, that's the little dash. Okay. All right, so we're almost there. Five, 1, 2, 3, 8, 8, 8, 3, 2, 1.
Wagner Baufirma, Dietrich. Guten Tag.
Hello, excuse me, but your van's parked on the square and it's blocking the way. Would you mind moving it?
Oh, sorry about that. I'm with a client nearby. I'll move it right away.
Thank you.
We'll interact with him once we finish the inspection. The camera. Alright, so now I almost did Alt-Tab trying to flip back. Back. Oh. 4253. That. Ooh.
Wow. I would hate to be the one who must tune this. This looks complex.
Okay, so the only way to really get a good view is by clicking on them individually. 4, 3, got it. 4, 2, 5, 3. Four, 2, 5, 3. It's the back side. I think I can figure that out, actually. Hold on. So, we put 4 here. Then it's back, then it's back, so that's a 0. We put 2 here. Then it's back, that's an 8. Put 5 at the bottom. Then it's back. Then it's back. Put 3 at the bottom. Then it's there. It's there. There? So 5. We put 5 here. 1, 2, 3. 4, 2, 5, 3. So 2. This is the one I think I got wrong. So it's 4 here. Here. Oh, that's... So it should be a 9 where the 4 is. So I think I just need to move everything once. 9, 7, 0, 0, 8. I was close. I was close. All right. We're in here. Let's go back. Let's get her to go. Can you move a little? I really don't like the movement system. It's probably like the biggest downfall of this game to me. Alright, we'll start with the left. Inspect left. Alright. So... Oh, this is... Maybe these little things down here.
Wow. I would hate to be the one who must tune this.
Yeah, I think that... Oh... Alright. Oh. In order to move them... Oh, this is... So, I'm gonna do this. We have a line there, and they're open for that section. Then we have a circle here that's closed, 2 open circles, and a circle here that's closed. And then below it, we have a open circle here, a closed circle here, and then an open circle here, and then like a closed circle here. So I can lock that one. That one controls that. Alright, so we move this to that, and they're open. Alright. So it's this one, and it's top one's closed. Alright, so that's right. This is like that, and it's this one that's closed. And then this one. So I believe that takes care of that. Oh, back. Oh, I don't think you...
There's no air flowing through. I must have missed something. It's locked. It's locked. There's no air flowing through. I must have missed something.
That's wrong.
Something's wrong.
Can you move these? Wait. Oh. Okay. Circle, line, circle, line, circle, closed, line, closed. So circle, closed, circle, closed, but there's a line that does something like this that's closed. Then this is circle closed. All right, let's start with the first half. So this gets brought up. This gets brought down. This gets brought up. And this gets... Alright, so that's right. So this pattern that I have is correct. That's fine. Then we do circle, closed, line, down, circle, circle, closed, line, down, over, circle, line, circle, and there's like a circle line over here. And then the bottom two, which I need to put over on this side, goes this way. And this way. Alright. So we do that. This comes up here. That's correct. This goes here. So we do that. We do this for now. Wait, so this does that. That's correct there, but this goes there. And then this one goes up like that. This. Oh. Alright. And then I can't touch those. Boom.
3 working now. 1 more to go.
Let's get her in position to get this one working.
This looks complex.
Alright. We'll go talk to what's her name, but first I want to see if I can see if he got this figured out.
Oh, it had to fall to me.
I can't really zoom in on it. Alright, let's just go tell what's her name and see if I get the chance to...
The report ends here. It doesn't say what happened next.
I think it contains all the information you need to repair the mechanisms on the square, Kate Walker.
Because this is...
I don't think they mentioned this code in the report. Given the condition of that door, it should give way if I force it a bit.
Impossible, Kate Walker.
The connection between this mechanism and the other ones on the square seems to be operational. Something's wrong.
Alright, let's go talk to that dude before we go play.
Right. Okay. I think this is the last one.
That's right, Kate Walker. You have to go back and activate the piano on the square like the rector asked you.
No, we gotta go talk to the rector first. You can't just boss me around. I swear I keep getting different dots every time I come in here.
Excuse me? Hello?
Now what?
Why is the academy going to close?
For the simple reason that we have no students. No students, no lessons. No lessons, no academy.
And why are there no students? If that's not a stupid question.
Because the mayor has taken away our grant that enabled our institution to become famous the world over.
Why would he do that?
Oh, budget restrictions, apparently. So, no staff, no students.
No students, no lessons. I get it.
But, between you and me and this counter, I'd say that's all just a pretext to get us out of the building.
And why would anyone want to do that?
To make others rich, of course. Property developers who are going to slice our institution up into shops, apartments, and office spaces, just like they've done with all the other buildings around the musical square.
There's just one problem. Even if I do manage to fix all the different parts of the mechanical orchestra, I still have to play the piano properly, and I haven't played piano since I left junior high. My mom bought me one when I was a kid, but it really wasn't my strong suit.
There's no need to worry. You don't need to be a virtuoso to activate the mechanism. The mechanical orchestra will come out if you play all the notes in the right order, regardless of the rhythm. You just need to know the basics of music reading.
I see you're not a fan of modernizing the square.
Oh, the council, in its great wisdom, deemed it outdated and unpredictable for the musical automatons to be triggered by the best student in the academy, or a soloist, or a virtuoso visiting Wagen. Not to mention buskers, they certainly don't attract any tourists. No, what they thought was they would electrify and computerize the activation of the mechanical concert. So it would happen on a schedule, like an attraction.
Did they do it?
Oh, the talks went on, but nothing was ever done. And so the square has basically been abandoned. And the mechanical automatons have fallen into disrepair.
I'd better get going then.
Quite. Good luck with the mechanisms, Fraulein.
I've already fixed them. What about the play?
All the mechanisms on the square are working. I just need to deal with the piano now.
It looks like this wheel is designed to activate the piano's engine, thanks to the dynamo effect, Kate Walker.
Then I guess I'm gonna have to put my thinking cap on again. Okay, the sheet music is in place.
Nope, we haven't.
Poor little thing.
There is no need to get sentimental, Kate Walker. The automaton was made for...
Broken.
Wait, Kate Walker, I am a highly evolved automaton.
Yes, and built to serve several purposes. Off you go now.
I see. You still haven't lost any of your irritating habits, Kate Walker.
Look on the bright side, Oscar. Thanks to you, the piano works now.
Well, hurry up and make use of it like the rector said.
Ta-da! The bird that comes out of the center just falls.
Is everything all right, Kate Walker?
It's the same. Exactly the same.
I beg your pardon?
The song I just played with the automatons, Vaughan's hymn, it's exactly the same melody as the one my mom's music box used to play. I used to listen to it all the time when I was a kid. We never did find out what it was.
And finding it today represents a major breakthrough, because?
Because it means that there must be a link between Vaughan, my mom, and probably Dana, too. Dana, who looks so much like me.
Ah, a family connection then.
I don't know, but it's possible. And you can be sure as hell that I'm gonna find out as soon as I've picked up Dana's trail again. Come on, Oscar. Our dear Mahler owes us a file.
Did I already mention how humiliating I think this is?
Oh, you did, Oscar. You did.
Let's go pick up the file. Let's go figure out this file. I guess we don't get arrested yet.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed your concert so much. Now I can retire fulfilled.
Glad to have been of service. I believe you have a file for me.
Of course, of course. Here it is. Dana Rose, just like you asked.
Thanks. At last! Dana's home address in 1937. A detached house, it seems. Number 20, Brücke der Nebel. The Bridge of Mists, huh?
Found what you were looking for?
I think so. Well, thank you. And goodbye.
No, thank you, Fraulein.
I wasn't done observing.
Bridge of Mists. Dana's address in the 30s.
Alright, let's get to the Bridge of Mist. I don't remember how we got into the square. I think it was this way. Nope. This way? I really don't remember. Nope, wasn't that way. Wasn't that way.
Wow. Pity I don't have time for some sightseeing.
Which way was it? Nope, I think it was this way. I honestly don't remember how I got in here. I think it's on the other side, maybe? Yeah. There it is. What? This way. Go that way. I knew there was a main entrance, it was just finding it. I'll run everywhere, and then I'll just walk down these stairs. Very, very slow. Can you... A little urgency, please? I'm trying to walk through here.
Looks like this district has been more modernized than the antique shop district.
I don't know what you're gonna do by going to her old house. I feel like that's they're not just gonna let you walk right in, you know? Ding ding. Stairs are temporarily cure in some. Are a temporary cure in some Resident Evil game?
Kate Walker.
I know, Oscar. I promise. I'll let you
Why
out
is
as
it a
soon as
temporary
possible.
cure?
Okay.
I don't know. Slow down the zombies.
Okay, Oscar. Now we have to find Dana's old house.
Do you recall the number, Kate Walker?
According to her registration form from the Music Academy, it was number 20. The bridge is exactly the same as it was back in the 1930s.
How do you know that?
Except that it's cleaner. It looks almost new, as if it had been renovated.
I'm afraid you are mistaken, Kate Walker.
Wrong one.
Wait, can I look around much? No. We're getting close. I'm gonna flip through the sides of the street to try to maybe talk to those people, but I just want to see how close we are. 18, yeah. Next one is hers. Can I interact with these people? They kind of like force you to like go to this side of the street.
Looks like the residents on the bridge are pretty mad at the town council.
No, 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 no. I'm not done. That would be where... I'm gonna look. Can I talk to any of these people? I can go down?
Protests in the neighborhood and a big storm coming tonight. I sure wouldn't want to be in the mayor's shoes right now. Anyway, I'd better focus back on Dana.
Okay, so we did that. Right. Didn't really solve anything. There's no warnings there. Let's go to this side of the street, maybe? No, 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 no. Okay, so obstacles. Let's go talk to these people, or try to.
A book about Vaughan's history during the war. Maybe it could be useful later.
Yeah, except you didn't take it. You're not talking to anybody, so that means that, like, it's just gonna be visual clues. Can I talk to any of these people? No. It's really weird. Looked at that one. I guess the only thing to do is just Hexa.
So this is where Dana grew up. I wonder if she'd recognize the town of her childhood today. I think she would. That is, if she's still alive. The musical square looks like it's turned into a tourist trap, whereas in the Bridge District, it seems like time stood still. It's quite eerie, really. Like if the neighborhood were artificially frozen in time.
That still didn't mark off. Okay, that I guess that did. I just didn't see it get zoinked or inspect.
Souvenirs here look more upmarket than the ones I've seen elsewhere. A gift shop. There's number 20. Dana's old house.
It's like it's the family symbol.
Guten Tag, Fräulein.
Candles.
All our gifts are handmade by craftsmen in Wagen.
Let's look around.
Made in Wagen. More gifts. I would have preferred it to still be full of paintings, I think.
How'd she know it was filled with paintings? I'm just saying.
On holiday in the region, Fräulein?
Just passing through.
Well, welcome to my little gift shop. Frau Heigl at your service. I noticed you were looking at a souvenir, Fräulein.
Yes, you have a wonderful choice here, Frau Heigl. Your shop is beautiful.
Thank you. All our souvenirs here are pieces of craftsmanship, as we like to say. All by local craftsmen. Do you wish to buy the souvenir, Fräulein?
Well, I'm actually looking for someone, not something. Someone who used to live in this house, and I was wondering if you could help.
Well, there were quite a few owners before I bought the shop last autumn, so I can't really...
So her name was Dana Rose. She lived here before the war. I was hoping to find some kind of trace of her here, so I could continue my search.
I see. Well, I have heard of the Roses, but I can't say if there's anything left of them inside the house.
But don't you live here?
No. My husband and I live in the suburbs. You see, the bridge was sacked just before the war, during the pogrom against the Vagrants. Oh, truly awful events. And then the neighbourhood was bombed, just after the war during the liberation. And many of the houses were damaged, including this one. They were hastily renovated after the war, but they remain mostly derelict.
You mentioned a pogrom against this neighborhood's vagrant community. Can you tell me more?
As much as anyone who knows anything about Wagen, I guess. It happened in 1938, if I recall correctly. A few months after Austria and Ostertal were annexed by the Brown Shadow.
What happened?
Well, the Brown Shadow organised riots against Vagrants on false pretexts. It led to pogroms throughout all the annexed countries, including this house.
Were the Roses home when it all happened?
Like I said, Fräulein, I don't know, but I hope not.
Well, it doesn't look like the house was damaged from what I can see. Your shop is charming, and so is the rest of the district.
Thank you. That's because after the initial renovation, the council financed major rehabilitation work on the facades. But if the truth be told, they left the proprietors to foot the bill for our interiors. That's why my husband and I had to spend all our savings so that the shop interior shows the same high standard that we demand of our suppliers.
That's a shame.
Yes, and if the council persists in refusing to help fund the renovation works, There won't be any residents left on the bridge, let alone independent quality stores like mine. There'll be nothing left but bland franchise stores, like the one further along the bridge or on the musical square.
So between the pogrom, the bombing, and the whole house being renovated, there's little chance of me finding any trace of the roses.
It's not quite like that. To be honest, we didn't have the funds to renovate the rest of the house, so we used the upper floors for storing.
Really?
And now that you mention it, I do recall coming across old photographs from before the war, here and there in the house. The successive owners didn't want to throw them out, and I suppose they must have left them there.
Would you mind if I went upstairs to take a look? Unless you would kindly bring the photos down yourself.
Well, I can hardly leave the shop unattended while I go... I don't even know you, Fräulein.
I see. In that case, would you mind if I had a look upstairs myself?
Don't take it personally, Fräulein, but I don't know you enough to trust you. I'm very sorry. Now, if you'll excuse me, Fräulein, I have a customer.
I conjecture that you were inefficient in trying to persuade the shopkeeper, Kate Walker. How are you going to access the upper floors now?
I don't know, Oscar. By getting creative, I guess.
I conclude I can trust you on that score, Kate Walker?
There's some scaffolding put back there.
Can't leave now. There are still things to do here.
My bad. I think I need to just try to go up and see what happens.
More gifts. I would have preferred it to still be full of paintings, I think. It's right in Frau Heigel's line of vision, too. I'm gonna have to draw her away if I want to sneak through that service door to the upper floors.
I really do hate the movement system in this game. I think we might have to call it soon. I don't think we have anything.
Must have got it wrong.
No, Kate Walker.
Impossible. One thing's for sure, this souvenir wasn't made in Wagen. Whoa! That's one shrill version of the Hymn of Wagen. Souvenirs here look more upmarket than the ones I've seen elsewhere.
I guess I just need to talk to her.
Excuse me, I must just serve the gentleman.
It's right in Frau Heigel's line of vision, too. I'm gonna have to draw her away if I want to sneak through that service door to the upper floors.
What's that awful noise? Excuse me, sir.
The way they have her walk
there
is just
it is.
hilarious to me.
How awful! That certainly doesn't belong in my shop. We don't sell such cheap and tacky items.
Why would that just be unlocked?
Great. I don't think Frau Heigel's noticed a thing.
Why don't you try to locate Dana Rose's room, Kate Walker? Then you can look for more clues about her.
And the way
Good
that
idea.
she's,
Let's just hope Frau Heigel won't come up.
the way that she stomps about. Jesus.
In remembrance of the eternal bond between the Roses and the Zimmers. Signed, Adam Z. This is where Frau Heigel must take her breaks.
We should probably GTFO.
It's dark in here. Hardly surprising with those windows boarded up. More stock for the shop.
No, no.
This photo shows the house partially destroyed. Must have been taken after the bombing that preceded the liberation of Wagen.
down, up, down, up, down. Well, this is weird.
Nothing of interest in here. A double bed, plenty of space. Must have been Dana's parents' bedroom. So where's Dana's room then? The number of rooms don't add up. Just what I needed. A family portrait. That must be Dana with her parents. It's been bricked up, most likely during the post-war renovation works Frau Heigl spoke of.
Okay, down we go.
Huh. The bedroom in the background of the portrait must be located in the attic. According to the light and the clock behind Dana, her room must face north. That's it, Oscar. I think I know where Dana's room is.
Enlighten me, Kate Walker.
Well, one of the photos shows a bedroom that's not on the second floor, right? And we know that the staircase was bricked up during the renovation and led to another floor. So that's got to be where we'll find Dana's missing bedroom.
It seems plausible, indeed.
It does. And if we're lucky, the room might be pretty much like Dana left it all those years ago, and potentially with clues to put us back on our track. I've just got to find a way to get to that third floor bedroom.
Seeing as you failed to create a positive bond with Frau Heigl, the next rational step would be to take a look outside the building, Kate Walker.
You're right, Oscar. Let's go and see.
Please tell me I don't have to sneak out Mother Trucker.
Oscar, I need your opinion on this.
Ah, that's better.
Looks like that fire escape staircase serves every floor of the house.
That is correct, Kate Walker. Perhaps you should find a way to use it.
So what do you think, Oscar?
I think I would have liked a body with longer front legs.
I was talking about the window up there. Must be Dana's room, right?
Oh, of course. There is a high probability that you are not wrong, Kate Walker.
Now we just need to figure out how to use it. Bricked. Looks bricked. Am I supposed to find something?
Looks like the staircase serves every floor, including Dana's.
Yes, we've discovered this.
I conjecture that you are probably right, Kate Walker.
The second floor windows will be of no use to reach the staircase. Well, we can't get to the staircase from the first floor windows.
No crap.
Indeed, Kate Walker, all the windows you could have used are obstructed.
The ladder to the first floor is up. It's too high for me to pull down.
But there's some trash cans.
Looks like there's a mechanism up there to lower the ladder.
I'm not fine.
That drain pipe leads to a ledge that leads to the staircase.
According to my calculations, the drain pipe will not hold you, Kate Walker. And even if you were lighter, the ledge is too narrow for you to stand on.
Hey, are you trying to tell me something, Oscar?
Yes, you are too heavy and too wide, Kate Walker, for the ledge.
Gee, thanks, Oscar. So basically, it's not going to be easy to use the staircase to get to Dana's room.
There is no other way. Access is denied from inside the first and second floors, and the third floor stairwell is bricked up. The fire escape staircase is the only possibility, Kate Walker. But you cannot climb up the drain pipe because of your weight and size.
I heard you the first time, thanks.
You are welcome, Kate Walker. So, the only way up is by the fire escape staircase, and that means lowering the ladder from the first floor.
Well, in that case, there's only one solution. As you're so light and slim, Oscar, you'll have to climb up the drain pipe and walk across the ledge for me. Then you just need to activate the mechanism to lower the steps so that heavy me can take the staircase route.
I was not made to climb up drain pipes, Kate Walker. I am a precision-made automaton.
Come on, Oscar. You saved the day more than once at Baranor. It must be second nature by now.
But how can I lower myself to scurrying like a rat?
Because you're a fine fellow and my faithful friend?
I get to be.
Kate Walker, help! I believe I am stuck here.
You're supposed to go on top of it.
Stay calm, Oscar. I'm coming.
Climbing like a common squirrel. This is a disgrace.
Everything okay up there?
Yes, Kate Walker. I just need to... Ah!
Hang on tight, Oscar.
Oh, I am Kate Walker. Believe me, I am.
You gotta jump now, Oscar. Hurry! Well done, Oscar. Glad that you're safe and sound.
I guess that's one way of putting it, Kate Walker.
I'm also glad you haven't lost your positive attitude.
Phew. That useless body. Now I must find another way. And climbing up all over again.
Be careful there, Oscar.
Oh dear, that can't be good. Oh dear. Now, Miss Pigeon. Madam Pigeon, then. I beg your pardon. Now, Madam Pigeon, would you be so kind as to make way? I guess I'm going to need help here. Kate Walker,
How am I supposed to get rid of that pigeon? I can't throw it at the pigeon, but maybe I can use it some other way.
Kate Walker!
Sorry, Oscar.
Made our point, I guess.
Huh.
Now, maybe this body will be useful in the end.
That was close. Oh, I'm just supposed to hold. What? That's pretty cool. It's like a tension ladder.
Locked, of course.
Kate Walker, if I were meant to be used as a cannonball, I would have been given a fuse. This is highly irregular.
Tuck your head in, Oscar. 1,
If Hans Vorarlberg could see me now,
2,
how...
3.
Undignified! Oh my. Oh my.
He's like, I was a cannonball.
Is this any way to treat an intelligent automaton? Really, if Mr. Vorarlberg could see me now...
He would say, "You've saved the day again, Oscar. You've exceeded all expectations by far." Okay, let's try and find out what became of Dan. No doubt about it. This must have been Dana's room.
Why would you press that?
It's from the Music Academy. Music symbols, but they don't seem related to the diploma.
Squiggly. I and a clef. Okay. Alright. Should have figured that out as soon as I picked it up. I needed to write those down. Alright, so let's figure this out. We got this one squiggly. Oh wait, no, this is that. This is the eye. This is squiggly line. This is there. Did I miss one? Wait, can I be in there and yeah. Alright. So it's this one. It's not that. But we got all the others, right?
That's not it. I should search for more clues in the room.
No. It's so easy.
That's not it. I should search for... The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why.
Oh. I see.
The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why. That's not it. I should search for more clues in the room.
Let's go back to look for the clue, or let's look for more clues, I guess, because... No. Why are you going over there to interact with what's... Alright, there's a desk over there.
There's something underneath. Can't reach it. Can't be that heavy.
So it's raised. No, because this one is that. But this one is that.
Nope, won't work. I guess I should use some of the clues I collected. But I get the feeling there is more to find in the room. The wheels on the lock seem to have... Nope, won't work. I guess I should use some of the clues I collected. But I get the feeling there is more to find in the room. Nope, won't work. I guess I should use some of the clues I collected. But I get the feeling there is more to find in the room. I don't think it's a good idea to venture this way. The room was ransacked and pillaged. During a pogrom of the Brown Shadow, I guess. God, I hope Dana was away that day. That's better.
Now that I think about it, Junta has more influence, and now I write myself reminders. Okay, that kind of helped. But that doesn't solve the missing...
It's from the Music Academy. Music symbols, but they don't seem related to the diploma.
Oh, you know what that could be? Alright, so back. So, what if... Alright. So, it's that.
It won't open. The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why. It won't open. I'm pretty sure I've collected all the clues I could in the room, though. I should take a look at the documents and items in my diary.
It has to be this. No. Does the raised symbols match anything? No. We're gonna go with that.
It won't open. I'm pretty sure I've collected all the clues I could in the room, though. I should take a look at the documents and items in my diary.
We're gonna say it's that one. Maybe that? Unless I'm... Can I look at this any other way?
It's from the Music Academy.
So this one... There's two gear teeth together, and she put it...
It won't open. The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why. It won't open. I'm pretty sure I've collected all the clues I could in the room, though. I should take a look at the documents and items in my diary.
This is the one that I'm missing.
It won't open. The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why.
So she's saying it's raised, right?
It won't open. I'm pretty sure
But
I've collected
for
all the
this
clues I could in
one-
the room, though. I should take a look at the documents and items in my diary.
The raised symbols don't exist for everything. Right? So I'm assuming that where they do exist, they need to be used. Or something.
It won't open. The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why. 20 Bridge of Mists. Dana's address in the 30s. It's from the Music Academy. Music symbols, but they don't seem related to the diploma.
I'm so lost on this. Hi Tempest, how's it going? Welcome in. I'm still trying to figure out this puzzle. This is a clue, and then this is a clue. You know what's weird is I have the chat open on my phone and it doesn't show the chat. That was weird. So we tried that. What? Hold on. Let me try that.
It won't open.
So
I'm pretty sure I've collected all the clues I could in the room, though. I should take a look at the documents and items in my diary. The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why. It won't open. I'm pretty sure I've collected all
I'm
the
a
clues I could
freaking
in the
idiot.
room, though. I should take a look at the documents and items in my diary.
Not that one. So we got this, lower, raised, lowered, raised, lowered, raised. And that's how you know you got it right. All right. So we go back. It's this. We'll figure that one out. Is there... All right, so it's this. We're doing that one and that one. All right. So, do. It's... Oh, this is wrong. And there's this one. Nope, it was... So it's this one. I got this right. It's this bottom one here. Is there another? No. Oh, it's this. There's another... Man, that took me forever.
It's blocking it.
That should not have taken me that long. Wow. It's like it's preserved. We're just taking her stuff.
This was written not long after her time at the refuge. A letter from Leon. So he did write back to Dana after the expedition left Kantar, the capital of Baltayar. The High Plateau of Baltayar, October 25th, 1937. My darling Edelweiss.
I hate myself for not sending you news more often, and for not being able to receive news of you.
Hi.
I find myself now where probably no other modern-day human has ever ventured before. I regret to inform you that I won't be able to go back to Europe with my fellow survivors.
Oh, things just went for the worst. I gotta get going, guys. I didn't realize how long that puzzle was taking me. So this is a good place to leave off. Oh no, there's a cutscene. Crap.
Something bad happened during the expedition. I, no doubt, am partly to blame. Nevertheless, I would like you to know my version of the events. After hard days of hiking, we set up our base camp on the threshold of a high valley where rhododendrons grew.
Hi, Tempest. Welcome in.
All the witnesses seemed to concur. This was where the Gorun, the famous man of the mountains, was most frequently sighted. For many long weeks, we explored without success every valley and mountain surrounding the camp. Autumn was approaching. The rivers started to freeze at the edges, and the prospect of having to head back with nothing for our toil was becoming more and more apparent. The joyful banter of the first weeks was no more. The men were becoming moody and tense. Especially our chief, Reinhard Berger.
I'm gonna finish this cutscene and then I'm gonna head out, guys. So let's finish it and then I'll say goodbye.
Up we get, Leon. Another day on a wild
Alright,
goose chase.
so now that I can,
better
there's
get
no more
kitted up before
cutscene. I'm
going
gonna
out.
get going. I didn't realize how late it was getting. I'll talk to you guys on Wednesday. Hopefully everything's going well with the repair that I had to do or having to do today, and I'll see you guys then. Bye bye.